Roger John Madden, they call me Juanito in Mexico. I'm standing at my hotel window where the morning birds are just finally shushing up a little bit, enough so that they don't compete with me too much. And it's easier for me to think, and I'm allowing myself to start thinking now at almost 7 o'clock in the morning. But here's the view out my window. I'm old, 79. I have a long history with meditation, starting from transcendental meditation in my mid-20s to working with Sri Chinmoy in New York City in my late 20s. A couple of other paths that were pretty important, and then finally Thich Nhat Hanh, the godfather of mindfulness, intensively for 4 years in my 40s, I guess. I don't call it meditation anymore. In the peak of my work with Sri Chinmoy in the early 70s, I was teaching 100 people every week at the University of Rochester how to meditate, in spite of the fact that I didn't know much about it myself. I certainly didn't know how to just be. So I don't call it meditation anymore. I just talk about going into the silence. I don't do any particular techniques. I will use things like the deafening silence here at night, and then the deafening symphony of the birds in the morning. But it's really just a process. I use cigarettes. Every cigarette cuts out my thinking process. I find I can't form English words. This morning, in the process of about 20 or 30 minutes standing here at the window just looking out at the dark and listening to the silence, I'm only aware of one. This little pueblo of 400 people sits on the main carretera north to south along the Gulf Coast, so it gets a lot of truck traffic. But at 3 in the morning, no. So in the process of standing here for about 30 minutes or so, I only can remember one thought that came up in that whole time. And it was a series of thoughts about a girl down the way here, just one restaurant down, who at a Saturday morning kind of came after me. I had been ignoring her calls the previous couple of days, thinking it was not me she was calling to, but Saturday morning she came around to the side door then and said, "Hey, come back here." It began a relationship that we've had since then, which has put me through some kind of wild ups and downs. At times thinking, no, there's nothing going on here. Then yesterday morning she really came after me again and flirted quite boldly and said, "Well, I'm thinking that maybe when you go to town today, Vega, the neighboring town, you might want to get me a little gift." "Oh, sure, because you think I'm spectacular," which I do. Tan bonita, she is gorgeous. So maybe, oh, well, that's a thought. It's a thought I had all morning. Yeah, I gotta get her something. But then I got her beautiful flowers yesterday, and it didn't seem to do anything. Now, the context was, their restaurant is not making it. There's like 9 or 10 restaurants in this little half-mile strip. None of them make a living. And they've been embroiled all day in building a new sign and painting the place. Her thoughts were very much around survival. But this morning, as I was lost in the silence, a whole swirl of thoughts about that lady came up. And I looked at them for maybe 30, 40 seconds, and then the answer was quite clear from God, life, nature, my inner pilot. No importa. Just not that important. Do you think in the face of this deafening silence and all the gifts that life, God is giving you here, that the ups and downs of that romance really in the big scheme of things make a big difference? No importa. Shut up. Back to the silence. I did.